Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA. And a while back we shot my friend Mike's 21 window Volkswagen bus. Well, today he's let us take his 55 Chevy pickup, and obviously not a stock truck. It's got a lot of cool things. We're gonna do a few more minor upgrades to this because although Mike bought this to enjoy himself, his wife has laid claim to this. So it's getting a few things done, and then this is gonna become her daily driver. So we're gonna dig in, go through some of the current details and what the upgrades are gonna be. So hold on, because here we go, man. Now I don't know a ton about it because like his Volkswagen bus, it came here and it didn't come with a lot of details. But let's look at some of the things. We can start with the motor on this. You know, it's a fairly old school, cool build. It's an old small block Chevy. I gotta guess from driving it, it's probably making, you know, low 400s would be my guess. Again, no info on it. But it's all clean in here. You know, the wiring, even though it's old school where you see exposed wires, it's clean work. This reminds me of like what we wish we could have done when we were kids and we were messing around with our cars, you know. I don't know who did the headers, but they're tucked in here very tightly. But I like this. I like that it's old school. I like that it's got a bigger radiator in here. So the car, so far, my driving this, I drove it in about 95-degree heat for about, oh, I'd say 40, 45 minutes. Temps were nice and low on it. I think one of the exterior pieces that Mike doesn't love, and I'm right there with him, is flames we don't mind, but that the flames look like a granite top kitchen counter or something. Not really into that. So this is gonna get a makeover sometime soon. You got LED lights on here, which is nice. I haven't driven it at night, so I don't know how they light up, but I would imagine based on what I'm looking at, they light up well. Another exterior piece choice that the guy made, because this was built by somebody else, my friend Mike just purchased it from him recently. I love the wheel choice. I love that it didn't go with a decorative rim on here, but that it kept the real old school look with the white wall tire. But then, you know, they're red. It's a nice accent. I did look on the other side. It does have disc brakes up front. Couldn't tell who they're from, but it is disc up front. It's still drum in the rear, but driving it, this thing brakes really great. There's also a little bit of cool suspension work done up here. It's got custom control arms. So it definitely drives better than what you would have had in the beginning with this truck. It is still a leaf spring rear, so it's a bit bouncy, but it's fun to drive this thing. I gotta admit, the little bit I've driven it, it's really fun. I like that he did billet mirrors on here. There's fit and finish work that needs to be done, like if he was gonna go ballistic and try to make this a show truck. I mean, you can see here the door fitment's not perfect, the hood fitment's not perfect, but one of the things I actually love here is that my friend Mike bought this with the intent of maybe doing some stuff for himself, and his wife has laid claim to this truck. His wife wants to daily drive this after we get done with a few things. One of which will be adding AC in here, because currently it doesn't have AC, and it'd be a nice one to add in. And on this thing, it'll be simple to get some vintage air and put it in there. One of the other things I know Mike wants to do is he thinks it'll be cool to airbag it so he can get that stanced out look when he parks it somewhere, which I'm for that. I'm not a big airbag guy, so I'm not in love with it, but I don't have a problem with it, especially what he's trying to go for. But one of the, you know, a nice touch to this thing is he just had some interior work, some mild interior work done. The door panels look really good, you know, Alcantara with red stitching. The seat, it's all very simple here. The odometer gauges in here are great. They blend right in with the truck. It's not one of the modern looking odometer gauges, so it's very period correct, and I like the red theme throughout this whole truck. The stitching, the gauge cluster, the wheels. I personally, I mean, any of you guys that follow the channel see me driving a red ZL1, so you know I like red. I noticed just looking underneath, coming out the side exit here, which is, again, a cool touch, I think, built into the step, is having the side exit on both sides of the truck. I did notice there's a MagnaFlow collector in here, so, because this thing, you'll hear it in a minute, the thing sounds great. A couple of other touches that I know are going to get dealt with on here. I told Mike, in my opinion, I think it would be great to figure out a better taillight setup. I don't think this looks as good as the rest of the truck. And no knock to the guy that put this truck together, but it looks kind of like he went, got to get some taillights on here, and he slapped them on here. It's not, I don't think it fits. It's not flushed in with anything. It looks borderline like an afterthought. And there's a small handful of things that we're going to do on this. It's not going to be like the Volkswagen bus that we're about to do a pretty radical renovation on. Cool little thing, right? This funky little key. I mean, you have an exposed gas cap here, which, you know, not too worried about it these days, but go into maybe, I don't know, it's possible that somebody could siphon your gas. So this protects the gas cap from being opened by anybody, which I think's, you know, I think it's cool. I think this truck has a lot of great little touches, and it just needs a little bit of love to take it to the next level. You know, Mike was asking if I thought he should LS swap it. I absolutely don't. I think it should totally stay a small block Chevy. I think it's very fitting of what this is. And you open up that can of worms, then you just got to open up the rest of them. And overall, I think this truck is really cool. I think it just needs some minor little things done to it. A handful of thousands of dollars. This isn't going to be, let's go drop $500,000 like the Coyote truck, or, you know, like so many of the vehicles that I deal with around here. This is going to be a more simple, just clean some stuff up on it and go drive the hell out of it and enjoy it, which is what we're going to go do right now, because I want to go drive this thing. I'm sick of talking. We'll go talk more when I'm driving the truck, so let's go. Run great. Might not be a bad idea to go through it, make sure everything's right on it. But overall, this old small block Chevy feels wonderful. And you got to remember, this is going to be for Mike's wife. She's going to make this her daily driver, which I think is cool. Good job, Mike. Your wife's cool. We're going to dig in on the brakes a little bit. You know, it's got discs up front. Might be a good idea to go to a disc rear on here. But to tell you the truth, overall, this thing seems to stop pretty well. Drives great. I mean, it really does. This thing, considering that this is, he bought it not knowing for sure what he was getting into, and this is what he got. I mean, there's just not much to do to it. He wants to airbag it. Would love to hear from you guys and hear your thoughts on, do you go with bags, do you go with coils, or do you leave it as is? I mean, it does have suspension up front. It's a bouncy ride for sure, but hell, it's a 55 pickup, man. It's not a 55 Caddy. So, you know, this, I don't think it's an issue to have a little bit of bounce. This thing sounds really good. I mean, I know it's MagnaFlow on there, but I don't know who did the header on this thing. I guess what it is, it reminds me of what it is, an old school hot rodded truck. There's something nostalgic about this old school hot rod. This reminds me of like when I was a kid, and you know, I would see the guys that are my age now rolling along in their hot rodded trucks, and it's just cool, man. I think you've done a great job, Mike, in your first acquisitions of cars. I mean, the 21 window bus with turbos on it is great. This truck is really great. The ideas that you're planning on doing with both of them, I love. So I think you're on your way to having two spectacular vehicles, man. And in the meantime, you get to have fun with this one. All right, you guys, that's it for our look at Mike's 55 Chevy pickup truck. Very cool truck. I highly recommend go check out his YouTube channel, Always Evolving Pythons, because obviously Mike's cool, and his wife might even be cooler because she's claiming this is her daily driver. So soon enough, we're gonna get the upgrades done and she'll be off and running in this thing. But that's it for today. Thanks for hanging and watching and supporting what we're up to here. I truly do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next episode. All right, man. Later.